Now, Team South Africa proved to be a cut above the rest at the Golden Shears World Sheep Shearing and Woolhandling Championships in Scotland when Mzansi's Blade Shearing duo of Bonile, Rabela and Zwelamakhosi Mbuweni bagged gold medals in the Blade Shearing Team Division. The Golden Shears Sheep Shearing and Woolhandling World Championships showcases the art, skill and techniques it takes to be a world champion, with over 30 countries competing for the title. South African Sheep Shearing Federation President Herman Archer said he is excited that the World Championship title is back in South Africa after what was a tough competition. Herman Archer joins us now to talk to us about sheep shearing. Herman, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, and good evening to the people online and listening. It's a great privilege and a great pleasure talking to you guys.
So sheep shearing has always been there, and South Africa has been doing quite well as far as sheep shearing is concerned. And I know the story came into play with the fact that the Springboks were conquering the world, beating New Zealand, and also the Proteas doing very well in the Cricket World Cup. Although this happened just about, I think, 6 months ago, I thought maybe let's have a chat about sheep shearing. Let's start there. I mean, is sheep shearing officially a recognized sport in South Africa?
Yes, sheep shearing consists of two legs, one being the commercial side where the shearers are shearing on the farms and earning a living of it. And then the other part is the competition part. The South African Sheep Shearing Federation is associated with SASCOC, so you can get your Protea colours for it and participate in World Championships every 3 years. So yeah, it all started on a farm, and it all started working from there, and then we have regional competitions all over South Africa, and then you have to qualify for the national championships in Bloemfontein at the Bloem Show around about the end of April. And then every 3 years there's a world championship somewhere in the world. And then a team has been selected to go represent South Africa at the World Shearing Championships. So yeah, basically it started from where we use the competition to enhance and to develop better skills for the shearer on the farm. So the competition, the guys compete against each other, and going back to farm, they improve their skills. So yeah, that is basically how the competition started, and yeah, we compete in world championships and doing quite well in the blade section.
How does it work from a competition perspective? You know, one watching would just be people shaving a sheep, if I can use that phrase. But how does it work, and how does one win the competition? What do the judges, the referees, look for in a sheep shearing competition?
No, in a sheep shearing competition, there's a platform that are raised above like a pavilion or a board that they're shearing on, so the people can look from underneath upwards, like a stage, and then each shearer all depends in the qualifying heats. It's maybe 2 or 3 sheep. We're going into the final, shearing up to 10 sheep, and then each shearer are being judged on the board in front on their technique, on how many double cuts they're making, how they're handling the sheep, and then the sheep go down a chute, back into a holding pen at the back, and there's also judges looking at a sheep. Is there any cuts made? Is there any wool left behind on the sheep? What is the overall picture of the sheep? And then there's a time point as well. So it doesn't mean that the shearer finished first is the winner. So it's a combination of his technique, his quality, the overall look of the sheep at the back, how did he handle the sheep, because that is very important, the welfare of the animal at the end of the day. So yeah, and then the guy with the least amount of points are the winner. So for every mark of every disadvantage you're doing or things you did not do right, you get a mark against you. So the guys going through, the best go through to the semi-final, then the final. But yeah, exciting sport. If you got 4 or 6 guys shearing against each other, I've been sitting at the shearing competition and the guys jumping up and down and shouting, and even more than at the rugby game. So yeah, the competition evolved over the last few years. There's music, there's action, there's commentary, there's 3 guys commentating. It sounds like a horse racing at the finals, and the guys are really going at it. And at the end of the day, I think in the national championships, the guys shearing 12 sheep in about 9 minutes. So things are going quick, and things are going really getting excited, and the people getting behind the man on the board. But yeah, being live at the shearing competition is quite something. And if you're not been there, I would recommend it that you guys getting there and just feeling the atmosphere and getting there. But mostly important, the judges are there. South Africa is fortunate enough to have a lot of international experienced judges. So yeah, working together with the SPCA and people around to ensure the animals didn't get hurt, and animal welfare is our biggest concern. Yeah. So the points also, if a shearer hurts a sheep or something like that, it's automatically disqualified.
So the next competition, as you said, will be in 2026. It's a 3-year period. Is there enough competition in South Africa where the competitors get to practice and pit themselves against each other to gain, get more experience and have more practice?
Yes, in 2026 World Championship is in New Zealand. Planning towards that, maybe a year in advance, we'll select the South African team, and then we must probably make provision and get the guys in New Zealand for about 6 to 8 months to prepare them for the World Championships. The big guys in the machine division, they're traveling just around the world practicing and getting fit and stuff like that. So yeah, in South Africa we have 9 provisional competitions. So in our season we have regional meetings all around South Africa, and then the guys must participate. And then as I said, our big event is in April in Bloemfontein. But again, the shearers are shearing every day on the farm in the shed. But we would like more competitions. Unfortunately, the guys are working as well, so it's not a professional sport that the guys can go from weekend to weekend, from competition to competition. They must work as well, and some of them have to travel a far distance to get to some of these competitions. Therefore, right, we're doing competitions all around South Africa. So yeah, we would like more competitions in New Zealand, Australia, almost every weekend, but unfortunately that is not possible in South Africa.
Right, Herman, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for coming through to speak to us.